Hi gamers! The Frontlines Daily Roulette continues to be a fantastic source of experience for any class level 30 or higher. With the ability to register and get experience for one class while playing as another, it's one of the few ways to get levels for classes you really have no interest in playing. But with achievements aimed at winning these matches, it's important that even players in it solely for the experience give each game their best, to avoid unpleasantness from other players getting super frustrated with low win rates attributed solely to lack of effort on the part of others. So whether you're trying to win matches or trying not to lose them too horribly, I'm here to help. I'm going to go through each map, explain the mechanics of each, and give winning tips and strategies. If you're grinding a PvP achievement, I want to know how it's going. Let me know in the comments below, and let's get into it. There are 4 different maps in Frontlines, but only one is available each day. They cycle through. If you're thinking of getting into Frontlines PVP for the first time, there are things you need to know before you get started. Please consider watching this video first. Or, at a minimum, visit the Wolves Den Pier in-game and set your PvP abilities. There are abilities specific to PvP, and your PvE abilities will not work. General tips for each match include: mount up before the gate opens, change class if you need to, and open your map and keep it open for the duration of the match. This last one is critical. You will always need your map not only to see the location of objectives, but also to see the position of your alliance, other alliances, and anything you need to avoid. Play around with size and transparency if you need to, in order to ensure you can always see the entirety of the map at one time. This ability here heals all your HP and MP, but has a long cast time. Use it away from battle, where you can't be interrupted. This ability consumes mana, but heals you instantly. You get about 4 casts of it from a full MP bar. This ability helps you run fast. This is important because if you are hit by any ability while you are mounted, you are afflicted with a really nasty heavy. Run away from battle until you are far enough away from anyone who wants to hurt you that it is safe to mount. This ability cleanses you of status effects. Use this if you can't move or use your other abilities. And this ability is an instacast bubble that reduces your damage taken by 90% and grants immunity to status effects for 5 seconds. You can't move fast in it, but it will buy you some time to make a decision or to get more MP for heals. All 5 of these abilities must be on your hotbars, in multiple places. Your class abilities don't take up a lot of space anymore, so put these anywhere your fingers or mouse tend to go often so they're always at hand. Say, yell, and shout will only ever show for members of your team, so don't waste your time trying to call out opposing players. Return will bring you back to the gate and has no recast timer during Frontlines, so if you need to get back to the start in a hurry, consider this before any intentional death. Battle High increases your damage dealt and healing potency per rank, and can absolutely win or lose matches. Battle High is earned by getting assists or kills, and you can see others' progress by these icons that appear by their names. You lose a portion of your Battle High every time you die. When you kill others, your team gains points. When you die, your team loses points. So the first tip to winning is to kill others and not die. With all of that checked off the list, on to the first map. The Borderland Ruins Secure. This map has a 20-minute timer and there are set objectives, flags, spread evenly along the outside of the map. 3 are right in front of landing points for each team, referred to as bases, and the other 3 are up for grabs. You can take the flag at another team's base, but fighting at a base is discouraged, as when players respawn there after incapacitation, they are granted an immunity buff. Fighting against players with immunity is a waste of time and resources. A team is granted points per second based on the number of flags they have claimed at that point in time. To capture a flag, you stand within the circle and a tracker here will show you the current status of the flag. If a flag currently belongs to an enemy, it will revert to its neutral state before it will begin to claim for your team. A flag will not progress in your favor if an equal to or greater number of opposing players is also within this circle. In addition to capturing the flag and the standard incapacitation of opposing teams' players, you can earn points in this map by killing nodes. Nodes spawn up the ramp in the center of the map at prescribed times throughout the match. 6 small nodes will spawn each time, and players will get points based on their percentage of damage to them. At exactly halfway through the match, a giant node will spawn at the very center of the map on the platform. Killing this is worth more points than the smaller ones, duh, and you should be reserving your limit breaks for it when it pops. For the record, spawn times of nodes are 19 minutes remaining, 15 minutes remaining, 10.5 minutes for small and 10 minutes for large, 6 minutes remaining, and 2 minutes remaining. There will usually be someone shouting these times to remind you to make your way for the ramp, mid, before they spawn, but if you're checking your map constantly, like you should be, you'll see them appear there shortly before they pop. How to win. When the gate opens, everyone will head to the top, claiming the flag at the base as you do so. Occasionally a small handful of people will break off to try to claim the nearby flags, but the majority of the team will head straight to the top to kill the nodes at 1 minute in. Try to avoid engaging other teams after the nodes are dead, and instead head straight back down to claim the flags that neighbor your base as soon as possible. Remember that every second they are yours increases your points substantially. From here out, with the exception of when you are called to the middle to attack the nodes, you will be fighting with the other teams to have control of as many flags as possible. Stick together, don't go off on your own, listen to shouts from your team requesting aid at flags, do not fight at another team's base, know when to pull back, pay attention to which team is in the lead and focus on them, and if you see a monk on the ramp, do not approach them, instead wait for a few friends and kill them from afar. You know what you did, monk. The match ends when the 20 minutes are up or when a team reaches the 1600 points needed to win. Almost always these matches tend to take about 20 minutes either way, so strap in and prepare for a long fight. Remember that there are 2 ways to approach every flag, around the edge of the map and the stairway up from the middle. Use this to your advantage to flank an opposing team and gain an advantage. Steal Rock, Seize. This map has a 20-minute timer, but matches are almost always decided before that long when a team reaches the required 800 data to win. Data is downloaded from tome lists that light up randomly around the map. Teams position themselves to be ready for when the first batch light up and then tactically fight to claim as many as they can. Data is delivered per second that the tomelith is claimed. You claim a tomelith by clicking on it for a timer. Once claimed, the tomelith will display a decreasing bar indicating how much more time is required for all the data to be downloaded. At any point during this download, an opposing team can click on it and wait the timer out to stop the download, and then after a second or two click again to start the download into their team's coffers. As, other than incapacitation of opposing team's players, this is the only way to gain points on this map, the tomelith should be the primary focus, and fighting outside of the intention to claim a nearby tomelith should be avoided. After the data is downloaded from the first batch of tomeliths, additional ones will light up, and this will continue for the duration of the match. So a team will always be trying to reposition themselves after tomeliths are gone so they're in prime locations to capture the next ones, wherever they may be. Not all tomeliths, however, are created equal. As the match progresses, there is an increasingly greater chance that higher value tomeliths may spawn. Tomeliths are valued by rank, and priority should be given to capturing higher ranked ones. Rank B, blue, is the standard tomelith. Rank A, red, is the next highest, and rank S, yellow, is the highest value. How to win. When the match begins, the teams run forward, trying to claim as much ground as possible to be able to get easily to any of the tomeliths that light up around the area. Your base on the map determines which routes you might take, but your point is the same. You can see the deactivated tomeliths as you run through the map, so you know the possibilities. Be near to one of these, but try not to engage with the enemy before they light up. Hold your ground and wait. When they light up, get to the nearest one and try to hold it. If your team is too spread out, you may need to sacrifice one in order to keep your grasp on others. Or, if you find you have eager combatants to spare, you might focus on a tomelith occupied by another team and try to wrest it from their grasp if they are too spread out or disorganized to hold it. Many of the same winning tactics I've already discussed apply here as well. Stick together. Listen to shouts from your team requesting aid, pay attention to which team is in the lead and focus them, and look at the positions of both opposing teams on the map to avoid getting pinched. Please remember that the data you retrieve is invaluable to winning this map, so don't fight, and especially don't die over nothing. Always fight for an objective. Mass melees may be fun, and pumping up your battle high does help, but only if you're already racking in the data. Fighting for the sake of fighting is usually only a strategy if a team is very close to victory, and taking away points through deaths may extend the match long enough for a close second or close third place team to steal the lead. The Fields of Glory, Shatter. Though there is a 20-minute timer on this map as well, it's hard to say how long a Shatter match can take. Sometimes they can be over quickly, and other times it's a slow grind until time up. This is probably the most random of Frontline matches and requires the most adjustment every time you play it. This is another rush to get data, but the goal is 1600 points, double the 800 required for Seal Rock. There are 3 Allagan tome lists per map nearby the starting location for each team. Referred to as the base, these are claimed by residing within the circle until the timer is up. You will also see the Icebound tome lists on your map when you first open it. These will light up in random quantities and in random locations throughout the duration of the match. This means one match you play, maybe 3 small ones will light up first. The next, 1 large. Or another match, all of the small ones at the same time. Just like before, you need to collect as much data as possible, or rather, destroy as much data as possible. Instead of downloading it, you're kicking the poop out of it. Attack the tome lists that are lit to destroy the data in them. Points are awarded based on how much damage you do. There are 4 large Icebound tome lists on the map that will also light up randomly. These are worth a lot of points and are the highest priority when they light up. They are spread out evenly on the map so that each team has a ramp down to one of them and a drop down to one of them, and the 4th one is in the center of the map. Use your limit breaks to do as much damage to these as possible, as they can definitely win or lose a match. If you are checking your map, which I know you are, you will note that tome lists light up on the map 30 seconds before they actually do in-game, so you have time to book it over to them. How to win. Straight out of the gate, teams will activate their Allagan tome list base and then head towards any tome lists that have lit up. If at any point there are no active tome lists, you will be in the center trying to retrieve as much data as possible by killing the other teams. But don't get too caught up in melee. As soon as ice pops, you need to be on it. You can get your team a distinct advantage by getting exclusive kills on big ices. Get to them quick and have a front line of teammates preventing an opposing team from getting near it. Or, best case scenario, kill it as quickly as possible as the other 2 teams are distracted killing each other and not noticing. Straying away from your team in order to capture another team's Allagan tome list or base is a waste of time. Even if you do, a host of respawning completely invulnerable opponents will very swiftly kill you anyway. Don't do this. Stay with the team, prioritize ice, keep your eyes on the map, chat for calls, and get to big ices ASAP. Onsal Hakair, Danshig Naadam, the newest and arguably most enjoyable of the Frontlines maps. Very rarely is the 20-minute timer reached. More often than not, a team is able to get the requisite 1600 tactical rating required to win the match. The map starts off empty, but ovos around the map will activate during the course of the match. The ovos have 4 states. Inactive. You can see where the ovos can appear by these marks on the ground. Keep them in the back of your mind because you will want to position yourself near to them in between spawns to better get to them when they do. Activating. An ovo will have this handy mark above it as a countdown when it is activating. This is clearly visible from a long distance and indicates how much time is left before it is claimable, and also what rank of ovo it is by its color. Active shows that it is ready to be claimed by clicking on it and waiting out the timer. And claimed. Once claimed, the flag of the team that claimed it will appear showing this ovo is no longer active. Do not fight over claimed ovos. Once claimed, it's time to take the fight elsewhere. Just like Seal Rock, the ovos increase in points given based on their rank, and so you should be prioritizing higher ranked ovos when they appear. B rank, blue, standard points. A rank, red, higher points, and S rank, yellow, highest points. As the match goes on, the number of ovos that will spawn at one time will decrease, and the likelihood of higher value ones appearing will go up. Also, at times throughout the match, a higher ranked ovo will spawn on the platform at the middle of the map. As ovos are the only way to earn points apart from incapacitating opposing team members, they are your priority. Avoid any unnecessary fighting. How to win. The first ovos will start to activate almost as soon as the gate opens, so it is a rush to see which team can get there first. Prioritize higher ranked ovos, but try to claim as many as you can, leaving a few members of your team at each one closer to your base to try to get the claim, while the majority of the team press forward to the furthest one they can reach. The ovo that appears in the center is a tempting treat, but it is also a lot of the time a trap. Do not focus so intently on claiming it that you ignore others that spawn in the meantime. You can earn far more points getting the outliers while two teams fight for the center than you can joining in their battle. Most of the other tips for victory are the same as other maps, but sticking together as a team and fighting for the objectives are especially important. Ovos activate quickly in succession, and you have to keep moving at all times. Make sure to pull out of battles as soon as the other ovos spawn. Don't be blinded by the fight in front of you to the exclusion of all else. Watch chat for calls and create a defense ahead of each ovo you are trying to claim to delay the opposing team trying to get at it, but don't allow yourself to get pinched. If you follow this guide, you're probably swimming in PvP currency. Find out how to make the most of it right here. I'll see you in game.